All right, guys, I'd like to move on further in the finishing portion of this and the mechanics for breaking or harming somebody, and start to discuss alternate foot positions and why and how you use them. So I have to understand that, again, everything that I'm doing technique-wise is meant to, it's goal-oriented. The triangle, I don't do a triangle because that's how you do a triangle. I do a triangle a certain way because it squeezes your neck, and by squeezing your neck, it compresses your carotid arteries, and that makes you, generally speaking, pass out unless you're like an American hero, John Fitch type, who just stares at that and laughs, which we've seen before. And that is, again, a real thing. And every now and then you're going to find people who are bizarrely difficult even to choke. So again, jiu-jitsu is a control-based art, and it's positioning that's most important. Submission is absolutely valuable and important and critical, but control is the one thing that I can ultimately depend on. It's just like knocking someone out. I can't be sure that it can be done. I can be sure that if I hit you in the head with my right leg or left leg, you ain't going to like it, but I cannot tell you about the outcome. It's very, very important that we grasp that. Now, moving on, the purpose of my legs is going to be improvement of my position and creation of torque, management of space. And sometimes when we're talking about an MMA context, and this is something that I did in my second fight on Ultimate Fighter against a very dangerous, very long opponent, I'm managing their ability to hit me. So depending upon your structure of your body, this, again, right now, how does this feel?
Feels like there's a little bit of play. Now there's not.
What I'm doing is I'm bringing my hip up underneath of this thigh, underneath of this calf, and that's creating torque. But again, I can't stress this enough. I'd love to go like, oh, I do this, and it breaks his leg. That's not how it works, particularly when people start moving around. What I'm doing is I'm attaching to your leg and attaching your foot. I understand that I want to bend your leg as much as I reasonably can because that takes your hip out of the equation, and I want to create torque into your foot that's going to go ouch, 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 and travel up towards your knee. Now, I can accomplish the same thing with my legs up high, with my legs across. And as always, the more defensively sound and savvy I am, the more I can go out prospecting with my feet and with my limbs and still be safe. I can go, yeah, let me put this here. And if Adam starts doing something to it, I move it. I'm not sitting there waiting, going, all sorts of things don't work provided you defend them. But if I ignore Adam, even though my knee is free, if he latches onto that and goes wham, and let's say you grab my heel, this is going to get real not cool real fast. My knee's free, and yet I have a feeling that it wouldn't matter, and I would probably be in surgery at a certain point, which I would hate. So if we come back, I'm going to start to move my feet from the triangle, which sometimes you can create torque if we rotate this way. Please, if you notice that, I'm standing on the ground for this one. That's a me thing, relative to Adam, relative to the floor. I'm creating torque and driving. If I take my feet and I do this, how do you feel?
Not great, but not bad.
That's because I'm not able to push off of anything.
No, I don't like it. Tap.
And what am I doing? I'm not lifting his foot up in the air. I'm making sure that I'm using his foot to spin his shin.
Tap.
And that hurts him. Now, I can accomplish the same thing. Same thing. Can you reach over and hit me with your right hand, please? Yes. And how hard would you swing if you thought I was honestly going to break your leg? He's going to try to knot my teeth in the third row, and frankly, I don't blame him. If you honestly think about what it is that you're trying to do, I'm like, hey man, I'm going to break your knee. How do you feel about that? He's like, not great. In fact, I hate you. So he swings with hate in his heart, and guess where my hands are?
At my foot.
Guess where they're not?
Your face.
In the way. You got it. So Adam goes, wham! And what happens? I don't know. I don't know. It works for me, and it works for him. If he hits me in the face, sometimes I'm fine. If he hits you in the face, sometimes you're not. I'll tell you what, though. If he doesn't hit you in the face, you're always fine. You never have to find out. So unless he's having aneurysm here, which, again, knock on wood isn't going to happen, at least not for a while, I'll be all right. So that's where, again, you're going to see value in using your limbs to block the line. So that same right hand at me, I'm like, stop that. No, you don't. Here's one. If you start to hop up, this becomes a serious issue. Because if you bring your knee up on top of me, please. Probably wait. This gets really uncool really quick. And I go, let me knock him back. But, wham! Ow. So the question is, how much do I value this leg lock or this leg attack versus how much I value not getting hit in the head? At least speaking personally, I can try the leg attack again, provided that I'm not unconscious. So this is stuff where me getting my limbs in the way and keeping them up here, and even sometimes like, hey, take that, which again is upsetting and disrespectful to him. But every now and then it sort of matters.
And then you got to let him break it.
You have no choice. But actually, I should probably let go of his heel and just start hitting him now and just say, because then when he gets his head out, then we'll go back. But the basic idea here is that ultimately I'm blocking the lines of his weapons, the things that would hurt me, and I'm taking them away. And that's something that a lot of times I really feel is getting lost in modern jiu-jitsu, is the importance of understanding how it functions in a fight. Submissions are awesome. Positions are awesome. Damage is the thing that can happen right now. And, people that have fought and people that swing, even if you just put on gloves and swing at each other a little bit, you'll start to realize that one really hard punch can sometimes change an entire position. And even if I'm in side control on you, if you're somehow elbowing me in the bottom of the head or the top of the head from bottom of side control, you're actually getting the better of it. I have to do stuff in order to harm you. So what I want you guys to think about is where you can put your feet on the floor, on your partner, on your opponent, in order to take away his ability to strike you. And this is something I'd like to show again on the wall. This is kind of going to pause for a second. So use the wall to hold you up, please. I'm like, this sucks. Stop that. Oh, shit. Whereas, use the wall to hold you up. So I'm like trying to knock you down, and what do? Ow. Again. Ow, and then I let go, and then he protects himself, gets himself out, versus, hey, I'm going to use these. I can even stand on the wall if I wanted to, and I'm creating the torque that I need by lifting my hips, standing on him. So jiu-jitsu becomes a lot more fun, and martial arts become a lot more fun when you realize just how much you can play with the levels of all of these things. It's nowhere near as set in stone as sometimes we can think they are, and when that's, again, something you're going to see a lot of value in changing the context. Hey, what if we use the wall? Hey, what if we don't? Hey, what if we put a gi on? What if we don't? Hey, what if we put a gi on and we're allowed to hit each other? You ever think about spider guard with a gi on and the person on bottom's allowed to kick you? That's a not fun situation for a top guy. So I haven't even done that before, really. But it's the sort of thing, it'll teach you different lessons. You'll start to understand how the feel and the flow of jiu-jitsu is really what's going to allow you to be successful across all of these different contexts.